Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Vision Podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Sarah. We are so happy you are listening with us today.
Wherever you are listening from, thank you for joining us. Today, we are talking about a topic that is very exciting, but can also cause a little bit of anxiety. We are talking about travel, specifically traveling and navigating places in an English-speaking environment.
This is such a helpful topic. I really love to travel and see the world, but I must admit, when I travel internationally, the airport is often the most stressful part of the trip. The staff always seem rushed, people speak so fast, and the signs can be confusing.
You are definitely not alone in feeling that way, Sarah. Even native speakers find airports stressful. But today, we are going to make it much easier for our listeners. We are going to walk through the exact conversations you will have at the airport, at the baggage claim, and when checking into your hotel. We will give you the survival English you need to feel confident on your next trip.
That sounds perfect. Let us start at the very beginning. I arrive at the airport with my luggage. I walk up to the airline desk. What is the first thing they will say to me?
The person working at that desk is called the check-in agent. Usually, the first thing they will say is, "Where are you flying today?" After you tell them your destination, they will ask, "Can I see your passport and ticket, please?"
That is easy enough. I just hand them my documents. But then they always ask about my bags, and sometimes I get confused by the vocabulary. They ask if I have any bags to check.
Exactly. A checked bag is the large suitcase that you give to the airline. You do not take it on the airplane with you. It travels in the cargo area under the plane. The agent will usually say, "Are you checking any bags today?" You can simply answer yes. "I have one bag to check."
Okay, so that is a checked bag. What about the smaller bag I take with me onto the airplane, the one with my laptop and snacks?
That is called a carry-on bag. Because you carry it on the plane with you. The agent might ask, "Do you have any carry-on luggage?"
So I can say yes, I have one checked bag and one carry-on bag.
That is perfect. Next, the agent will weigh your checked bag. Sometimes a bag is too heavy. If your bag is over the weight limit, the agent might say, "I'm sorry, your bag is overweight. You will need to pay an extra fee."
Oh, I hate when that happens. Sometimes I open my suitcase right there and move heavy things into my carry-on bag to avoid the fee.
That is a very smart strategy. Once your bags are sorted, the agent will print your boarding pass. Your boarding pass is the very important piece of paper that allows you to get on the airplane. It shows your flight time, your gate number, and your seat number.
Speaking of seats, sometimes I want to choose where I sit. How can I ask for a specific seat?
There are usually two main choices: an aisle seat, which is next to the walking path in the middle of the plane, or a window seat, which is right next to the window. You can ask politely by saying, "Is it possible to get a window seat, please?"
Is it possible to get a window seat, please? I like that phrase. It is very polite. Now, after I get my boarding pass, the real stress begins. I have to go through airport security.
Security is definitely the most intimidating part. The security officers are very serious and there are a lot of rules to follow. When you get to the front of the line, the officer will tell you to take out certain items.
Yes, they always yell instructions. What are they usually asking us to do?
They will usually say, "Please take your laptops and large electronics out of your bag." They also ask about liquids. You must take any liquids out of your bag. Then they will say, "Place all your items in the bins."
A bin. That is the gray plastic box that slides along the table, right?
Exactly. You put your bag, your shoes, your jacket, and your electronics into those plastic bins. Then, the bins go through an X-ray machine. While your items go through the machine, you have to walk through the metal detector.
The metal detector is the doorway you walk through to make sure you do not have any metal on your body. What happens if the machine makes a loud beep sound when I walk through?
If it beeps, do not panic. The security officer will usually ask you to step aside. They might say, "Please step over here. Do you have any coins or keys in your pockets?" You can just check your pockets, hand them any metal items, and try walking through again. They just need to make sure everything is safe.
That is good advice. Just stay calm and follow their instructions. Okay? So I survived security, I found my gate, I got on the airplane, and I enjoyed my flight. Now, the airplane has landed in a new city. I need to go find my checked suitcase. Where do I go?
You need to follow the signs for baggage claim.
Baggage claim? Is that the place with the large moving belts?
Yes, it is. Those moving belts are actually called baggage carousels. The word carousel usually means a ride for children at an amusement park with wooden horses that go in a circle. At the airport, a baggage carousel is the moving belt that goes in a circle, bringing the bags from the airplane to the passengers.
That makes a lot of sense. So I wait by the carousel for my flight. But John, what happens if I wait and everyone else leaves and my suitcase never comes out? This is my biggest fear when traveling.
It is a terrible feeling, but it does happen. If your luggage is lost, you need to stay calm and find the airline's baggage service desk. It is usually located right there in the baggage claim area.
What do I say to the person working at the desk? How do I politely explain my problem?
You want to be clear and direct. You can walk up and say, "Excuse me, my flight just arrived, but my checked bag is missing. It did not come out on the carousel."
Will they be able to find it?
Usually, yes. They will ask to see your baggage claim ticket. This is a small sticker they gave you when you checked your bag at the beginning of your trip. It has a barcode on it. They will scan that barcode to track where your bag is in the world.
What if they say my bag is still in the other country and will not arrive until tomorrow? I need my clothes for tonight.
In that situation, you will need to file a report. The agent will ask for your hotel address and your phone number. You can say, "Can you please deliver the bag to my hotel when it arrives?" Most airlines will deliver delayed luggage directly to you for free. You can also ask, "Does the airline provide an overnight kit?" Sometimes they will give you a small bag with toothpaste, a toothbrush, and a clean t-shirt to help you survive until your bag arrives.
That is very helpful to know. Can you please deliver the bag to my hotel? I will definitely remember that phrase. Okay, let us imagine my bag was not lost. I have my suitcase and I take a taxi to my hotel. Now I need to check in.
Checking into a hotel is usually much more relaxed than the airport. When you walk up to the front desk, the receptionist will probably smile and say, "Welcome to our hotel. How can I help you today?"
What is the best way to respond to that? Should I just give them my name?
You can start by saying, "Hello, I have a reservation under the name Sarah." A reservation is just your confirmed booking.
Hello, I have a reservation under the name Sarah. They usually ask for my passport and a credit card right after that, but sometimes they mention a word that confuses me. They say they need my credit card for incidentals. What are incidentals?
That is a very common point of confusion. Incidentals are extra charges that are not included in your basic room price. For example, if you eat a snack from the minibar in your room, or if you order food from room service, or use the hotel telephone to make an international call. Those are all incidentals. The hotel takes your credit card just in case you use any of those extra services. If you do not use them, they do not charge you.
Ah, I understand now. It is like a safety deposit for the hotel. After I give them my card, they give me my room key. Or usually it is a plastic key card now.
That is right. The receptionist will hand you your card and say something like, "You are in room 402. The elevators are on your left. Breakfast is served from 7 to 10 in the morning. Enjoy your stay."
That sounds wonderful. I go up to room 402, I open the door, and I want to relax. But what if there's a problem with the room? What if the air conditioning does not work, or the room is not clean? How do I complain without sounding rude?
This is a very important skill. You want to ask for help politely, so the hotel staff will want to assist you. The best thing to do is call the front desk from the phone in your room. When they answer, start by saying, "Excuse me, I'm calling from room 402. I have a small issue."
I have a small issue that sounds very gentle. It does not sound like I'm angry.
Exactly. Then you explain the problem simply. You can say, "The air conditioning in my room is not working," or "The TV will not turn on."
What if the problem is noise? Sometimes I'm put in a room right next to the elevator or next to a very busy street and I cannot sleep. Can I ask to change rooms?
Yes, absolutely. You can call the front desk and say, "Excuse me, my room is a bit too noisy. Would it be possible to move to a quieter room?" Notice how we use the phrase, "would it be possible," that makes the request incredibly polite and professional.
Would it be possible to move to a quieter room? I love that structure. Let us practice another scenario. What if I forgot to pack my phone charger? Or I need an extra towel for the shower?
In that case, you just call the desk and use the phrase, "Could I please get," for example, "Could I please get an extra towel sent to my room?" Or, "Do you happen to have a phone charger I could borrow?" Hotel reception desks usually have a large box full of phone chargers that previous guests left behind, so they are always happy to lend you one.
That is a great tip. I did not know that. So I just say, could I please get an extra towel? Or could I please get some more coffee for the room machine?
You have got it perfectly. The key to hotel interactions is just to be polite and direct. Say please and thank you, and the staff will always try to make your stay comfortable.
This has been incredibly helpful. John, I feel much more prepared for my next trip. I know how to check my bags, how to get through security, what to do if my luggage is missing, and how to talk to the hotel staff.
You're very welcome, Sarah. Let us do a very quick review of the survival phrases we learned today for our listeners. If you want a specific seat on the airplane, you ask, "Is it possible to get a window seat, please?"
If my luggage is missing, I go to the desk and say, my flight arrived, but my checked bag is missing. Can you please deliver it to my hotel?
When checking into the hotel, you say, "Hello, I have a reservation under my name."
And if I need something for my room, I call the desk and say, excuse me, I have a small issue. Or, could I please get an extra towel?
Perfect. If you practice those key phrases, your next trip will be smooth and enjoyable. You will not get lost in translation. Thank you all for listening to today's episode. We hope you feel more confident speaking English on your travel adventures.
Keep practicing your listening, and we will see you in the next episode. Have a safe trip, everyone.